Championship Saturday. Our first game is the AAA Championship between the Seton LaSalle Explorers and the Meadville Bulldogs. Momentarily, we'll have the starting lineups. Starting is number 1, Tyler Kalaric. Number 2, Matthew Kelly. Number 14, Brian Kersey. Number 15, Michael Mariello. Number 23, Casey Schaefer. And starting in goal for the Explorers is number 30, Patrick McCullion. The starting lineups for the Meadville Bulldogs. Number 9, Ben Carnes. Number 11, Jeff Bamakwa. Number 14, Ron Pons. Number 20, Paul Rizilko. Number 24, Rocco Tedesco. And starting in goal for Meadville, number 35, John Baker. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we ask you to please rise and honor our country as we present the playing of our national anthem.
Meadville Bulldogs will be looking for their 5th straight state title at the AAA level and looking for their 7th in the last 10 years. They have had the same head coach as Jamie Plunkett for 10 consecutive years, working this Meadville Bulldog team. And when you talk about high school hockey throughout the state, Art, the Meadville Bulldogs are one of the most revered programs in Pennsylvania.
Thanks so much to Haas's Steak and Sea House for their great help as our major sponsor for today's hockey game. Again, it's Michael
They have a heck of a tradition. Just super coaching. Plunkett played at Cornell himself. They've had kids drafted. They've sent kids all over, and just a super hockey program up there. And they really enjoy the support of the whole Meadville community.
The LaSalle Explorers certainly no slouch themselves. This is their first trip to the state title game. A record this year of 35-9-2 under head coach Peter Nolan. They come as winners of the Flyer Cup held in the eastern part of the state, the high school hockey tournament just last week. And certainly when you look at this LaSalle club, they are loaded with an awful lot of talent as well. And we expect to see a very physical game right off the outset between these two teams.
Yeah, that's Meadville's philosophy. They're going to come in there, they're going to try and take the body, they're going to try and eliminate them. I think Meadville has the size advantage, but if LaSalle can control the puck and open up some ice in the neutral zone, that could be a big factor in national range in a championship game.
The officials for this first game, as appointed by the Pennsylvania linesman, is Joe Fontal Jr. Meadville will be designated as the home team as they are decked out in their whites with the black and the red trim. They skate from the left to right, 4th period number 1, while the LaSalle Explorers, coming out of the east, are designated as the road team with their traveling gold and royal blues. They move from the right to the left. The first of 3 state title games to be played here in Johnstown, this being the AAA game, the Meadville Bulldogs against the LaSalle Explorers. An awful lot of excitement in the community for this tournament, Art, and the Meadville Bulldogs have brought themselves a very large throng of fans.
You can tell there's black, white, and red everywhere. They definitely will have the fan support this evening.
The puck is dropped and we're underway here in Game 1 at the Cambria County War Memorial in Johnstown, Pennsylvania. Back in the LaSalle end, played over the far boards, off his backhand. Schaefer looks to lift it out of the zone, could not do it. It's bounced back in the left wing corner by the Bulldogs. With possession of the puck is Michael Mariello, who'll roll it near side for LaSalle. Gathering in and playing it out across his own line is Matthew Kelly. Loose puck in the neutral zone, gathered in by Rocco Tedesco. Will bank it out of the near boards. It comes right back to him between the circles in his own end. Tedesco hit on the play, but not before he settles it near side in front of his own bench. Coming on is Bovacqua. He's got a lot of room to work. Right wing side LaSalle, and a heavy slap shot. The kick save made by McCullion. Loose in the near corner, trying to work it out in front. They'll have it. The Bulldogs circle it out in front. Ruzilko with a shot, and it's blocked. Loose puck is pushed off of the far boards, where it's gathered in by Tyler Kolaric. Kolaric looks to clear for LaSalle, and he's able to do so. Both teams feeling each other out here in the early going. Meadville the only 2 shots so far. Loose back in behind the LaSalle net once more. Matthew Kelly this time, banking it off of the far board, back inside the Meadville end. First one back is Mike Chordak with possession. He looks to lead it out to center, deflected off of a stick just inside of the Explorers' end. Puck gathered in by Brant Heaton. Heaton will play it near side, all the way down into the zone. First one there is Robert Farrell. He looks to work it out in front, but he's dumped down on a sturdy body check by Dave McWright. Loose puck in the near corner of the Bulldogs end. McWright out of the pack with that biscuit. He'll play it off his backhand across the line, gathered in by Porter. Chad Porter up over the checkered stripe, and will work it long and deep inside the LaSalle end. First one after a near side with that puck was Dave Rikas. Rikas working it in behind the net, lost possession to Brant Heaton. Heaton trying to poke it near side, work back in behind the LaSalle net. Loose in front now on the doorstep, and it's swept out of there by Patrick McDonald. LaSalle off of the boards, but not out. Left point, Chordak will keep. He'll just play it off the end boards, rolling on edge and behind the net. Back there battling for it was Pat McDonald. He works it over the far corner of his own end. Gathered in by Gregory Bilecki, but he's hammered down on a sturdy check throw to the net, and it bounces in. Meadville throws it to the net. I do not know who will get credit for the goal, but it's in. And the Bulldogs have an early 1-0 lead.
The home Royal rink's really going to favor the Meadville Bulldogs. There's not much room behind the net, and those close corners is going to play to Meadville's advantage here.
Well, it was a strange play that time. A flood of players in front of the net, and it was just worked towards the front of the goal, and it changed direction. I don't think the goaltender, Patrick McCullion, ever reacted. It just kind of made its way inside the near post. We'll wait and see who gets credit for the goal, but certainly the Bulldogs with the early jump here in this hockey game.
He's still flustered down there. He doesn't look focused. He better make sure he can stay in this hockey game right off the bat here, because Meadville's going to come right back out.
The goal will come at the 1:56 mark, and again we wait for the official word before we give it to you, but Meadville leads this game 1-0. Rocco Tedesco to center, will work it in behind the LaSalle net. Mariello trying to clear, lost it. Mariello now, as he receives help in the defensive zone, will work it to the right point, and sending it out is Casey Schaefer. Possible 2-on-1 for LaSalle. They hurry. Coming in is Kolaric on his backhand. Left wing side. Kolaric looks to work it out in front. Wraparound bid now. Work between the circles. But there to break things up is Ron Puz. And Puz, the leading scorer on the season and wearing the captain C for the Bulldogs, able to work it out to center. And that puck in front of the bench area was Ruzilko. He's dumped down on a sturdy check. Meadville, though, intercepting the puck, and back they come again. Here's Leach, left wing side. On his backhand. Delayed penalty coming here. I believe it will be going against LaSalle. His body's banging everywhere. The whistle blows, and an interference call upcoming here against LaSalle. It will send the Bulldogs to run to the game's first man advantage for either club.
Meadville really keeping their legs moving, forcing LaSalle to take that penalty. The kid, Brian Kersey, just had to pull him down from behind, and Meadville did the power play here.
So Brian Kersey, a 2-minute minor for interference at the 2:42 mark. And that'll send the Meadville Bulldogs to work in a 5-on-4 advantage for the next 2 minutes. First power play situation of the afternoon for either club. 1-0 Bulldogs lead. As of yet, we still did not receive word on that goal. So once we do have it, we've played your club in Westmont Hilltop early in the year. What do you look to see out of the power play unit for Meadville?
They're basically going to play a box in London and spread the ice. They really move the puck around the perimeter, and then they look for one of the defensemen to jump right into the play and generate a good shot to the net.
Backhanded towards the net, right from the draw, and a nice blocker pad save made by McCullion. Meadville will have that puck in the far corner of the LaSalle end, trying to work it out now is Rikas on his backhand, skates it in behind the net, will leave it out of the end boards, a wraparound bid to the far post, but it's stopped there as Chad Porter tried to jam one in. Porter will have possession again, look to work it deep in the zone, backhanded up the far boards by the Explorers, and it's chopped out by Michael Farrell. Bulldogs will go back and reset just inside their own line. A minute and a half remaining on the man advantage, 11:45 to go first period, 1-0 Meadville leads. Loose puck inside the LaSalle end. Rikas giving chase with the Bulldogs, will dump it off, coming on is Bovacqua. His shot deflected, and it just hit the outside of the pipe. Gathering in that puck is Rikas. Rikas out of the end boards, looks to roll it behind the net. He had a line mate there, Jeff Bovacqua, but he could not find a handle of it. Good Bovacqua, loose between the circles now with a wrist shot as Porter, and a nice one stop made there by Patrick McCullion. Well, he really went down during the splits there, but was able to flash out that catch a bit with cat-like quickness, and he holds on for a face-off in the LaSalle end.
play without the puck by Chad Porter and 15 for Meadville. Really lifted the kids stick up, got possession of the puck, and was able to put it on net.
Some debris on the ice to the right of the net as the Lions crew working hard to get the surface back in playing shape. Great to have you on board here for this state high school hockey game, the championship at the AAA level. Greg DeVito along with Art McQuillan, as we have seen some tremendous hot sport to see.
No, it's tremendous. If you look around Johnstown area, every school within basically 15 miles of the War Memorial has a program now. Talk with the county commissioners about building a rink in the northern part of the county. Only bodes well for high school hockey down the road.
Power play still on for the Bulldogs as Rikas in behind the net will work it to the near corner. Trying to set up one of his teammates. He gets it back. Rikas turning backhand shot in front was blocked wide. To the right point, Rocco Tedesco will keep. Going center point. Had a man there in McWright. That's Dave McWright on the play. McWright with a good job to keep it in as he could not handle the pass. He'll play it in deeper looking for Rikas. Rikas' centering attempt was blocked wide by Matt Kelly. Kelly from behind his own net for LaSalle. Played around the horn but not out. Tedesco centering feet. Blocked down between the circles. Polaric tried to clear but he could not. Center point, a wrist shot is deflected by Puzz and wide of the net. Ron Puzz now on his backhand will bring it near side. Going right point. Tedesco slap shot. Save made. The rebound on the doorstep. And it's knocked away by Matt Kelly. Matt scramble now behind the net, and with Kelly falling on top of that puck, he'll freeze it there for a faceoff. So pushing and shoving developing afterwards. His Puzz a bit frustrated on the play as Kelly had gone down to cover the puck, freezing it to the surface, but we will have a faceoff.
Meadville's been successful in that endeavor.
Faceoff upcoming to the right of the LaSalle net. Shots on goal at this point, 6-0, favoring the Meadville Bulldogs, and they lead 1-0 with 10:35 remaining the first period of this AAA State High School Hockey Championship game. Face-off won by LaSalle. Behind his own net, Greg Galecki off his backhand. Could not clear as Tedesco kept. But Tedesco gave that puck away inside the line, and it's fed out to center. Bulldogs will have to reset as they send it right back in. Down to 5 remaining in the man advantage. Loose puck at center. Mike Chornak will have it. He'll wrist into the atmosphere. Bounding puck over the end boards. Loose and behind the net. After it near side is Peters. Peters will work it back in behind the goal area. Giving chase for the Bulldogs with Jason Osborne, but he gives way to Peters. Peters attempted to center it out in front as he had a man cutting in Mackerlane. It's knocked back over the far corner. Scramble throwing it over there as Peters finally pulls it out. His centering feed this time deflected to the near corner. Back to full and even strength as Mackerlane in the near corner. Looks to walk around a man, but he lost it. LaSalle just trying to get that puck out across their own line, and they finally do. Casey Schaefer giving chase. They play it on the boards. Coming on now is Michael Farrell. He may have a chance here. Shooting, he scores! Michael Farrell blasting it into the net as he beats John Baker. And LaSalle with their first shot on goal and capitalized. They tied the game at 1.
He didn't hesitate on that shot at all. He picked the corner and he let it go. And really, I don't think the Meadville goaltender thought he was going to shoot it when he did. He looked off very nicely.
Michael Farrell able to beat John Baker low to the stick side as it clanged onto the inner pipe up into the upper workings of the cage. And Michael Farrell able to get the Explorers even here, 1-1, right after killing off the penalty to Brian Curcio. So a good job not only by the penalty kill unit, Art, to seize the moment and fend off that disadvantaged situation, but then capitalize very quickly afterwards.
That's a big goal from LaSalle, too. Like you said, Meadville dominated the first 5 minutes, but they bounced right back. Meadville really
scored
in control of the game, but that's a huge goal for LaSalle at this point.
Well, the Bulldogs with it now from the faceoff. Worked it inside of the zone, but it's poked back out by LaSalle to center. Gathered in by Rikas. Rikas trying to work his way inside LaSalle. I have a whistle on the play, and I believe we have an offside infraction here. The whistle blows, and we'll have a face-off upcoming just outside of the LaSalle line. 9:29 remaining first period. We're tied at 1. Michael Farrell, the goal getter, from Casey Schaefer at the 5:14 mark. And so we have a 1-1 hockey game. All right, but you have to admire LaSalle's resiliency so far.
Also on
both
the
teams
LaSalle
also
goal, assist to number 17,
played this week. Meadville
also
playing
an assist
on
to
Tuesday
17,
evening, and LaSalle eliminating Germantown Academy. So legs look a little bit sluggish here because they've been in some crucial hockey games over the last 7 days.
Shot by the Bulldogs here, deflected. That stopper is made by Maculion, and on to center from the Explorers again, whether it is Brian Kersey. He cuts his way down the right wing side, but a man preceding the puck into the zone, and Casey Schaefer will be blown dead on an offside infraction. We'll step aside and pause for the first time this afternoon. 9:07 remaining first period. We're tied 1-1 here at the AAA Championship game on 850 WJC. Jim, how are the levels? Okay.
I'm usually a little soft.
Okay. Well, the Bulldogs came close again, but it's it's stopped away by McCullion. Out to center, LaSalle will work that puck. Sending it over the right wing boards is Michael Farrell. And behind the Meadville net with possession is Dave McWright. They're trying to play it near side and out, and it is worked beyond the left point area. Coming on is Meadville. They have a chance. Right wing side is Rusilko on his boy, and his wrist shot. Stop made by McCullion. The rebound free, and McCullion will have it in his catching net as he holds on for a face-off to his left. Now Rusilko that time, Art, came in with a good scoring opportunity. A 2-on-1. He never looked off that time. He may have been better advised to try to work it in front of the trailer, but he went to the shot, and McCullion was forced to make a good save.
Yeah, McCullion looks like he's settled in now. He's weathered the illness one. He looks focused.
LaSalle from Casey Schaefer. They've added a second assist on that goal, by the way, to Patrick McDonald. Face off deep inside of LaSalle end. Work to the near corner. Peters trying to kick it free for the Bulldogs. They'll have it in behind the net, but it's chopped out of his reach by Brant Heaton. In the near corner, they'll scrum after it again on the near boards. Osborne coming in late for Meadville, trying to pry it out of there. He did, but it's headed in by Brant Heaton. He'll spin around the boards to the far side of his own end. Trying to chop that puck out with Scott Zettel. He could not. Left point looking to keep for Meadville, but unsuccessful in doing so that time was number 24 on the play, Rocco Tedesco. LaSalle nearly had a chance as Zettel skated his way into the zone, but he lost possession. Left point, a wrist shot towards the net. The save made that time as it was fed across the doorstep by Patrick McDonald. And now some bodies colliding after the whistle again. A lot of intensity here in this first period between these two teams. The AAA State High School Championship game. The Meadville Bulldogs against LaSalle. Tedesco is off, and LaSalle getting to go to work in a 5-on-4 advantage for the next 2 minutes. Belted off the boards and cleared the length of the ice by Dave McWright. Wait from the draw. And so LaSalle must go all the way back to set up camp from behind their own net. Quarterback in the attack is Robert Farrell. Lead it out to center. Loose puck gathered in by Brian Kersey. Off his backhand, he'll send it long and deep inside the Meadville end. Rolling in behind the net. First one there is Dave McWright. He's hit heavily on the play. Works it around the horn, though, and it carries back out to center. LaSalle trying to reassemble as it's worked into the zone by Matthew Kelly. And behind his own net for Meadville, though, Mike Chordak will have it. He risked it saucer-like, sending it all the way back inside LaSalle territory as the Explorers once again resetting inside of their own end. With possession is Robert Farrell. He goes on the right wing side, trying to find Brian Kersey. First to speed inside the Meadville end, but he lost possession of the puck. It's poked out of the boards by Rikas. He's got a man ahead of the play in Porter. Instead, Rikas skating with it himself. Will make a nice maneuver and now lifted inside of LaSalle end. Down 1:09 remaining on this man advantage. 1-1 hockey game, 6:55 to go first period. LaSalle loses possession once more, and Meadville content just to roll it back out to center. This puck gathered in by Dave McWright. He'll jam it over the far ward, long and deep. Inside of the LaSalle end, fed around the horn. First one there, though, is Puzz. He sends one to the net, and the save made by McCullion at a sharp angle. Coming on hard now is Jeff Bavacqua trying to pry it away from LaSalle. Excellent job here by the Meadville penalty kill unit. Bavacqua will keep it pinned to the boards for a face-off upcoming in the LaSalle end. Well, you have to tip your hat right now, Art, to this Meadville penalty kill unit. They have absolutely bottled up and confused LaSalle in all three. 6:31 remaining first period. Game tied at 1, down to 41 seconds remaining on this LaSalle power play. It's fed right to the net by Ron Puzz from the draw, and once again McCullion will just go down on all fours as he covers it for a face-off upcoming to his right. The first of 3 high school championship games on the day. The AA game will occur immediately at the conclusion of the AAA game, and in the AA we'll have Greensburg Central Catholic representing the West against Upper Darby from the East. Face-off won by LaSalle as they work it out to center, but Bavacqua will steal it away. Making his way on the left wing side of the Explorers end. Rolling it off of the boards, looking for Puzz. Puzz in front. He's got a wide open man. Bavacqua shooting, and the stop made by McCullion. The rebound gathered in by LaSalle. They're down to 20 remaining on this man advantage. Out the center leading the rush is Greg Bilecki. On his backhand, he just floats one in on netminder John Baker, who made that save. And now a lot of pushing and shoving behind the net as Baker was plowed into after he had frozen that puck in his goal crease area for a face-off. Tempers settling down a bit here, and we'll have a face-off upcoming in the Meadville end.
Real nice interplay between Puzz and Bavacqua there. You can tell they're no strangers to each other. They've been on the ice together before. Nice give and go there, generated a quality shot in a shorthanded situation, and that can really take the wind out of a team's sail.
6:03 remaining first period. It's Meadville 1, LaSalle 1 here in the AAA State High School Hockey Championship game. 14 seconds remaining in the Explorers man advantage. Face-off upcoming to the left of the Bulldogs net. Meadville will win that draw, and Dave McWright off the boards, not out. A good job at the right point that time by Greg Bilecki to keep momentarily. But there is Ron Puzz to poke it back out to center, and LaSalle must reassemble once more. Off the near boards, Michael Moriello will roll it in behind the net. Fed off the glass by Chornak, but not out. LaSalle will work it deep in behind the goal. A backhanded attempt looking to center was Brant Heaton. It squirts out in front now, but right there is Puzz to clear his own doorstep. We're back to full and even strength, and it's sent down the near boards all the way inside the LaSalle end. Will be no icing on the play, as racing after it was Paul Ruzilko. Ruzilko with a heavy check will knock it loose. Coming on is Bavacqua. He lost the edge of his skates. There is Ruzilko. Poked out of his reach, though, by Michael Moriello. Moriello sending up the near boards, where it's gathered in by Kevin Brady. He's hit heavily on the play, lost possession. Meadville trying to keep it alive, but they could not do so, and out comes Brant Eaton. One-on-one inside the Meadville end. Will walk it around the defense. He cuts in on goal. His backhand shot, and it's stopped neatly that time by John Baker. Oh my, Brant Eaton with a glorious bid there for LaSalle, but a better stop made by Baker. Coming on now is LaSalle, though. Have possession again inside the Meadville end, but it's stripped away, and back go the Bulldogs the other way. Jeff Bavacqua leading the rush. Left wing side. Gets around his man. Works it between the circles, but Ruzilko was tied up and could not get to it. Poked back in behind the LaSalle net. First one there to gather things in is Matt Kelly. 4:45 remaining first period, tied at 1. Puck free in the far corner of the LaSalle end. Finally gathered in that time by Patrick McDonald. He plays it out across his own line, and coming on is Tyler Kolaric. Kolaric on his back end, works it inside the Meadville end. His centering pass was knocked down. Meadville will turn and go the other way as they poke it out the center, giving chase is Puz. Puz going in as McCullion came way out of his net to play at that time, about 25 feet out. Loose puck is gathered in by LaSalle. They'll play it off the near boards. Kolaric skating backwards inside of his own end. Will play it around the boards to the far side, gathered in by Puz. Puz able to keep, even though he was hit heavily on the play. From behind the net, trying to work it out in front is Leach. He'll skate with the near side. Dan Leach hit heavily on the play, lost possession. Loose in the near corner. It's gathered in by Dave Rikas. Rikas goes right point to Carnes. Back to Rikas. Bottom of the right wing circle is centering feed. Shooting that time. At a sharp angle was Leach, but the stop made by McCullion, and they'll jam it up for a face-off to the left of the LaSalle net. 4 minutes even remaining first period. We're tied at 1. We'll step aside here at 8:50 WJAC. The game tire at the 5:14 mark from Casey Schaefer and Patrick McDonald for this LaSalle Explorers Club. Meadville looking for their 5th straight AAA class title, as they have simply been a dynasty. That's probably the best way to describe that hockey program from Crawford County. Face-off won by Meadville. A wrist shot by Chordak, line of the net. They'll carry him over to the far corner where it's gathered in by Michael Farrell. Farrell met resistance and could not clear his own end. Here's Chad Porter trying to work it out in front. Porter was hit, lost it. Here's Rikas, though, with the top of the circle, shooting, and it was deflected wide of the net that time. I think it changed direction in front of McCullion. It'll bounce in behind the net where it's gathered in by Matthew Kelly. Kelly still skating with that puck now. We'll play it back to the near side. We're trying to chop it out is Robert Farrell. He's able to do so. Coming on is Kevin Brady after that loose puck. Brady inside the Meadville end was lined up and pummeled to the glass by Dan Leach. What a big league body check that was there by Leach as he draws the fans from the Meadville crowd. LaSalle able to clear the zone and flip it right back in. From behind the Bulldogs net, looking to play it is Ron Puz. Or rather, that's not Puz on the play. That's Rocco Tedesco. Tedesco, the defenseman, sending it near side. They'll jam it up in the corner of the Bulldogs end. A battle of about 4 bodies, and finally the whistle will blow for a face-off. Upcoming to the right of the Meadville net. 3:03 remaining first period. We're tied at 1. The LaSalle Explorers, after settling down the early going, Art McQuillan, have started to turn things around.
Now they're hanging in there, but I think Meadville's really taking the body at every opportunity. Every time they have a chance, they're being as physical as they can be. So we'll see how LaSalle holds up over the course of 45 minutes. They obviously have a smaller team, but good skaters. So it'll be interesting to see.
Face-off upcoming to the right of the Bulldogs net. LaSalle working for it, and they'll have it at the left point. Patrick McDonald lost possession. Good job, though, to keep that time by Greg Balecki. Balecki lifted it further into the zone, but it's poked back out the center by the Bulldogs. Here's McErlane giving chase. He lost possession inside of the Meadville end. The puck will carry him. Fed off of the far boards by Dave McRine across the line, but it's gathered in by Tyler McCorlick. Or Kolaric, rather. Kolaric able to work it in behind the Bulldogs net. Down to 2:35 remaining first period. We're still tied at 1. Meadville trying to clear the zone, could not. Kept alive center point by Kersey. Kersey looking between the circles for Casey Schaefer on the play. Schaefer lost it, played around the boards, and still alive in the Meadville end. On the near side, trying to play it out across his own side is Brad McWright. He'll do so as he leads Jason Osborne, left wing side. Slowing the play down as Osborne puts on the brakes, looks for a trailer, trying to work it in front to Jeff Bavacqua, poked away but not out. Kept alive momentarily by Meadville, but a spinning, diving play that time by Brian Kersey, who's able to lift it out the center. 2 minutes even remaining first period. Tied at 1, Meadville and the LaSalle Explorers in this AAA State High School Hockey Championship game. To the near side, Ruzilko will keep. His wrist shot was deflected, and a good stop made that time by McCullion. Long rebound came out to the far boards. We're pinching in to keep alive as Tedesco in deep on the play. Tedesco trying to make something happen. Will give way to Bavacqua, but he had his pocket pick. Played to the line, not out. A good job by Puz to knock it out of the air and keep that play alive. As Puz now will lose it on the right wing side of LaSalle end. Puz gets it back, though. His shot was deflected wide of the net. The rebound fed back out in front. Bavacqua had it, but the whistle blew. The referee, Tim Morgret, losing sight of the puck. And so he blows the play dead, and now the linesmen colliding with each other. One goes to the deck, but apparently everything will settle down, and we have a face-off upcoming deep inside of LaSalle.
Talking with Jamie Plunkett, Meadville's coach, last evening, he said, well, this team may not be the most talented team ever at Meadville. They really have strived to uphold the tradition and have really worked harder than some other teams with perhaps more talent. But he said, credit to these kids' work ethic that they've been this successful.
Puck played in behind the net right from the draw. Matt Kelly with his stick all wrapped up, trying to kick that puck out of there. It will come near side, and Brad Eaton able to send it on to center. With that puck and skating in is Ryan Cohen. Cohen on the left wing side. Half a step on Carnes as he tries to make his way in. Good job by Carnes to force him wide. Rolled in behind the Meadville net. Greg Cavane in after it. Cavane is pinned to the boards, and they'll freeze it there for a face-off upcoming inside the Meadville. Oh, I thought we heard a whistle. Now finally we do, as all the pile of bodies end up on top of it. We go for one more timeout. We'll take it here. 1:02 remaining first period. This is high school hockey on 850 WJAC. So we got it.
Yeah, we got there. That's what counts.
Thanks.
There is 1 minute remaining in the period. 1 minute.
Back at the Cambria County War Memorial. Under a minute remaining in this first period as Meadville skating it out from their own end. It's Chad Porter getting around his man as he was wrapped up. He rolls it to the net, and the stop made. That's on by Patrick McCullion, the starting goaltender for the LaSalle Explorers, and he'll settle for a face-off at his own end with just 50 seconds remaining in this opening period. Meadville and LaSalle tied at 1-1. Greg DeVito along with Art McQuillan, and it's great to have you here for this championship Saturday at the Cambria County War Memorial in Johnstown, this being the AAA game, starting everything off today, the first of 3 games. Face-off controlled by the Bulldogs. They look for more before the end of this first period. Leach with a spinning wrist shot. It was blocked wide in the near corner of his zone end. Michael Moriello will roll it in behind the net. Rikas is there. He's hit from behind, still trying to work it out in front. McGillian at the side of his net is knocked backwards into the goal, but somehow he kept that left leg pinned to the near post and the puck out of the cage for a face-off to his left. Shots on goal at this point aren't 14-3 in favor of Meadville. They certainly have had the territorial edge, but I think in the second half of the period, LaSalle proved that they could skate with this team.
Yeah, LaSalle's playing very well in the neutral zone too, and they're keeping their legs moving, which is important. And Meadville, the point is Meadville's had a decided advantage getting to loose pucks. So
LaSalle with a 3-on-2. Farrell into the zone, gets around a man. Robert Farrell shooting in the stop, made that time by John Baker. The rebound on the doorstep, but with the net becoming free from its standard, will have a whistle. And a face-off on the Meadville end, and I'm telling you, temper's really flaring here in this game, and with everything on the line, you don't expect anything less from these two teams. Robert Farrell with a nice move that time to work it around the defense. He came up leading the charge in a 3-on-2 rush. He got a good shot away, but Baker making the better save, and as the rebound was laying on the doorstep, the net becoming dislodged, a face-off in the Meadville end.
These teams really don't like each other. They have respect for each other, but you can tell right with the scrums in front of both nets, they're playing for all the marbles right here, right now.
LaSalle's 2 defensemen penetrating the top of the imaginary plane created by the face-off circle, so the draw coming outside of the zone with just 24 remaining in the first period. Meadville and LaSalle tied 1-1 in this AAA championship game. As the face-off controlled by the Explorers, Moriello will roll it down the near side, giving chase inside of his own end is Mike Chornak. Chornak on his backhand, skates it out the left wing side, tried to clear, but he could not. Kept alive by Matthew Kelly. LaSalle may have a chance here, just 10 remaining in the period. Trying to backhand it out in front was Michael Farrell, but he lost it. Rob Farrell, his brother, could not get to it near side. As Meadville will have it, just 2 remaining in the period. Bodies collide, and the horn will sound, bringing the first period of play to close here in the AAA state title game. Well, tempers are short between these two teams. No love lost in the first 15 minutes, and we have 2 more periods remaining to decide the victor in this one here this afternoon at the Cambria County War Memorial. And now some more tempers flaring as both teams trying to get their way back to their respective playing bench areas. We'll step aside. Meadville 1 and LaSalle 1. Second period action when we return here on 850 WJAC. Okay.
He dumped one in 4th grade. And this kid, who's one of their best keepers off.
Okay. Back at the Cambria County War Memorial here in Johnstown, Pennsylvania. Second period action of this AAA state title game between the Meadville Bulldogs and the LaSalle Explorers. Game tied at 1 as Second period action underway. They do not clean the ice surface between periods 1 and 2 for high school hockey games, so hence the shortened intermission. Then around the near boards of the Meadville end, where trying to poke it across his own line and able to do so is Ruzilko. Loose puck at the center line, gathered in by LaSalle's Casey Schaefer. He'll backhand it in, but it's cleared back out again. Puz working it down the near boards. Ruzilko, first one there on his backhand, trying to send it in behind the net. He's hit heavily on the play as the puck will roll harmlessly in the far corner where Greg Bilecki cleans up his own end. Bilecki out the center with Tyler Kolarek. Kolarek inside the zone, looks to split the defense, still working with that puck. His wrist shot of the save made that time by John Baker. And they did not blow it dead. The puck was still alive, and as Baker had it go between his pads, LaSalle after it. They have poked it in to take a 2-1 lead. Well, that one fooled me a bit there, Art. I thought that Baker had possession of it, but apparently not. It was trickling behind him, and LaSalle very opportunistic to poke it in. They had their first lead of the day.
Interesting play because Baker thought he had it scissored between his pads, rolled through, and the LaSalle kid, good job crashing the net, and thing just rolled over. Referee in perfect position to make the call. No doubt about it. He had no reservation about calling that a goal immediately.
You know, Brian Kersey was diving for it. I don't know if he'll be the one to get credit for the goal. Tyler Kolarek was the one who took the original shot. And LaSalle on top of Meadville by the score of 2-1. Rikas now for the Bulldogs. Will work in the right wing corner of the Explorers end. Loose from behind the net. Comes out to the left point. A wrist shot there by Dave McBride is blocked wide. As it's played to the near boards, but we have a man down now behind the play, and everything will be stopped here. As a pair of players involved in the near boards, but down on the play, one of the LaSalle Explorers. A bit shaking up, and shaken up that appears to be Michael Moriello inside of his own end.
14, Brian Kersey.
Rikas laid a heavy check on him down below the goal line there. Really finished his check. Good, hard, clean hit, but Moriello appears to be okay.
Well, Moriello okay as he makes his way over the bench under his own power. The official word on that goal by LaSalle is they have a 2-1 lead at the 53-second mark of second period action. Brian Kersey from Tyler Kolarek and Greg Bilecki. So the Explorers on top of Meadville 2-1 despite being outshot in this game 14-6. Face-off upcoming to the right of LaSalle net as it's won by Meadville. Porter with a wrist shot in the same made. The rebound sent to the net and wide by Dan Leach. Of the near boards, LaSalle trying to clear the road, and Kevin Brady. Brady lost it though. With it is Rikas. He had his pocket picked neatly that time. Puck is kept alive at the left point. A booming drive by McBride will carry him wide. Gathered in over the far boards by LaSalle's Robert Farrell, but he could not clear the end. Rikas now right wing circle. Try to pull it around the lone defenseman back, but he could not. Bouncing puck over the far wood, gathered in by Matthew Kelly of LaSalle, but he could not clear. Leach able to keep alive. He's dumped out from behind. The puck is under him, and they'll just blow things dead for a face-off upcoming to LaSalle and Meadville after falling behind 2-1. Starting to throw the weight around a bit more, making things happen in the offensive zone.
Yeah, Meadville, as Coach Plunkett indicated, real strong work ethic on this hockey team. But they don't have perhaps the most as much talent as they had offensively in the past, but they're really working hard, doing the little things that they can do well, and starting to take a little bit of control despite the 2-1 score.
Meadville has won 4 straight Class AAA titles, looking for their 5th in a row here under head coach Jamie Plunkett. They suffered the most losses that they've ever had in one season with 19 this year, an overall record of 33-19-2. Here's Puz walking in, and his wrist shot flying over the right pipe. He had beaten the goaltender McKillion, but it caught nothing but metal, and it'll carry him all the way back inside the Meadville end. Well, Puz that time, the beneficiary of a steal inside of the LaSalle end, pulled the trigger. He got a lot of lumber behind that wrist shot and fired it quickly. McKillion was screened and was beaten on the play, but it clanged over the pipe, and LaSalle was able to clear it.
Meadville's no stranger to this type of hockey game. They've talking with their coaching staff. They've had to work for everything they've earned this year, and I don't think they're baffled by being down 2-1. I think they just continue to work and work and work, and we'll see how this thing turns out.
Face-off upcoming to the right of the Bulldogs net. They'll win it. Blasting it around the horn is Mike Chordak. And the right point LaSalle could not keep. Coming on is Ruzilko after a loose puck. Ruzilko will have it. Looking to get around the defense. His centering feed. Backhanded shot, and it's stopped by McKillion. There to get that quick shot away was Joe Peters coming on for Meadville. Or rather, that's Jeff Bavacqua, 11, not 17. And Bavacqua's shot was snagged out of the atmosphere by Pat McKillion. who has really settled down to be sharp. He's yielded just 1 goal on the 17 shots that he's faced so far from Meadville. And I'm telling you, Art, out of those 17 shots on goal, probably at least 15 have come from the low to medium slot area. Real quality chances for this Meadville team.
Yeah, he struggled a bit early, but he's zoned in and he's focused and he's intent on what he's doing. You can tell just to take a look at him.
Face-off upcoming to McCullion's left. 12:45 remaining second period. 2-1 LaSalle on top. With that puck firing a wrist shot in the save made again by McCullion as Jason Osborne pulled the trigger from about 15 feet away. McCullion thought he had it pinned to his midsection, but it did trickle out for a rebound. He was quick, though, to find that loose puck, and again a face-off to his left. Goal scorers in this game so far. Meadville had a 1-0.
Advanced choice, 850, LPUJAC.
He's not giving him any rebounds either. No, he's controlling it. Never fails.
Yep. Okay. Back in the wall, Memorial fed out in front. Rikas with a shot. It stopped the rebound. Came back. It's kept in the left point now. Here's Peters trying to jam it in. He could not. Rikas with it. He's dumped down and he could not get the shot away as McCullion and the LaSalle defenders holding the fort in the defensive zone. Well, I'm telling you, the Bulldogs there had about 4 chances to try to poke it in, but somehow Patrick McCullion and the LaSalle Explorers defensive corps were able to keep that puck out of the net for a face-off to the right of the LaSalle goal. 11:23 remaining second period. 2-1 Explorers on top. Greg DeVille along with Art McQuillan. This has been a very entertaining game so far, Art, as Meadville, very highly touted coming in. 4 straight state titles, having trouble here with the LaSalle Explorers.
McCullion's really doing a great job controlling the rebounds. Meadville's generating 1 shot to the net, but he's not giving them anything even close to a sniff after that, and he's really controlled the puck.
Here's Chad Porter from the draw, working it between the circles, but it's picked away by Michael Moriello. He'll lead it out for LaSalle. On the right wing side is Kevin Brady. Brady on his forehand. Had it knocked out of his reach neatly by Dave McWright. McWright lost it, though. Working between the circles as Farrell. His backhand shot was blocked. Michael Farrell giving chase as he rolls it back in behind the Bulldogs' net. LaSalle has managed just 6 shots on goal, but lead 2-1 in this game as Farrell with a centering feed. A one-timing bid attempted that time by Robert Farrell, his brother, but it's blocked wide. Kevin Brady, the cousin of these 2 Farrell brothers, trying to work it out in front. He did, but the only one there was Meadville. They could not clear. Kept alive by LaSalle. Well, that puck is Brady. Had it poked out of his reach, though, as it's finally gathered in by Meadville. They look dead tired on this shift. They're content just to send it out to center. 10:35 remaining second period. 2-1 LaSalle leads in this AAA State High School Championship game. Brady from the near corner of the Meadville end and rolls it out in front. It was deflected by Rikas. And right there was goaltender John Baker to glove it, to hold on for a face-off to his left.
2-1 hockey game. The next goal is going to be huge in this one. I think the next goal could make or break this for either squad.
Well, certainly if you're skating for Meadville, you have to feel a bit frustrated at this point, Art. You've outshot this team 20-6 to this point, but trail on the scoreboard 2-1. What does it do to a team's mental psyche when you have dominated the action the way Meadville has, but trail on the scoreboard?
Well, I think it would affect most teams, but I think Meadville's had to work so hard for what they've accomplished this year. I don't know that it's as big a factor as it would be with some other squads.
Face-off won by the Bulldogs. They'll play it around the boards on their own end. Bavacqua pinned to the glass, could not clear. Right there to follow things up is Joe McElwain as he pokes it out. Coming on, giving chase is Ron Puz, but he spun away from it. Sent to the line and out. Tyler Kolarek will glove it down. They may have a 2-on-1 if they hurry. Kolarek left wing side. He's got a man in front as he tried to go that way. Cutting in was Brian Kersey, but the pass was broken up by Meadville. Sent out to the boards and out the length of the ice. There will be no icing as it's in on goaltender McCullion. Deep in the LaSalle end, McCullion plays it himself but not out. Ron Puz coming on, near side. Looking for his line mate on the play, and Paul Ruzilko. He'll go in front to Puz, trying to turn it out in front. Lost it. Ruzilko there, shooting, score. Paul Ruzilko able to put it past McCullion, and Meadville has tied the game at 2.
Give Puz a lot of credit for that. Good, persistent work. Controlled the puck. Didn't panic with it. Generated it out to the front of the net, and Ruzilko able to finish nicely. Beat McCullion to the right side there. Good pick shot, no reservation. Let it go.
Well, that is a hard-working goal there for the Meadville Bulldogs. They had the rush coming up ice and it was thwarted, but they simply did not give up on the play. And Ron Puz, wearing the captaincy, we mentioned he's the leading scorer this year for this Meadville Bulldogs team. Skated it out in the front to show you the respect that LaSalle had for him. All their defensemen went right after him. And as they converged on Ron Puz, he was able to leave it between the circles. Ruzilko followed, and he puts it in to beat McCullion. Up over his right shoulder. It's a 2-2 hockey game. 9:50 remaining second period as this AAA state title game all knotted up. And, well, I tell you what, this game being televised live by Meadville Television, as we mentioned, and they may have done something here to crush the momentum that they had just built. They score a goal to tie it 2, but they decided to take a TV timeout right in the middle of it.
Scored by Ruzilko, assist to Puz.
All right, we're back as the puck is dropped, and it's controlled by the Bulldogs. That game-tying goal by Paul Ruzilko at the 5:10 mark from Ron Puz. It's all knotted up at 2 apiece here with 9:35 remaining second period. LaSalle from their own end. Matthew Kelly skates in behind the net. On his backhand off the far boards. He could not clear. Gets it right back. Kelly trying to poke it out, but a good job by the Bulldogs to keep. Spinning it towards the net was Paul Ruzilko. In behind the goal area. Mackerlane giving chase. That's Joe Mackerlane. He's pinned to the glass, and they'll keep it there for a face-off upcoming inside of the LaSalle end. Well, certainly the Meadville Bulldogs, you talked about head coach Jamie Plunkett, now in his 10th year. The one thing that he has changed this year, according to head coach Plunkett, is his attack really focuses hard on working more down low in the offensive zone. That's exactly what we've seen from his team here today.
He describes his hockey team as a hard hat and shovel type blue-collar hockey team, and willing to work, and they've made some nice, I guess that's to stand the test of time. You've got to make adjustments according to your personnel, and Plunkett, credit to him, he has them back here again.
Face-off controlled by LaSalle, but not out of the zone as McWright will keep alive. He banks it to the right wing corner. Gabe Amato. Amato lost it. Fed back over the right wing corner. Amato is after it. He'll have it on his forehand from behind the net area. Left it off of the end boards. Following up for Meadville and working it out in front was Stupiansky. Nate Stupiansky, though, lost it. And LaSalle content to lift it out the center. Loose puck racing after it here as Brian Kersey, left wing side, had it poked out of his reach. Tyler Koleric backhanding it out in front, but nobody was home. Kersey back up on his skates. Near side could not get there. At the right point, fanning on a wrist shot was Greg Bilecki. Out comes Meadville, 3 men strong. Here's Amato. He was at the end of his shift, was Amato, and he elects just to roll it off the boards and deep inside LaSalle end. Rikas giving chases. The first one there is centering feed in front. Walking in is Porter, firing, and the save made that time by McCullion. At the right point, pinching in to keep is Ben Carnes. Carnes deep in the zone. It's worked out in front. Rikas shooting, save made. The rebound back in, and shot is stopped by McCullion again. Old Chad Porter right on the doorstep of that rebounded attempt, but he could not beat McCullion, who was having a very big second period.
McCullion really needs some more help from his defensemen there. They're conversing in front of the net, you see there, and they cannot continue to give Meadville those type quality scoring chances and expect to win this hockey game.
8:25 remaining second period. Tied at 2, Mike Chornak and Paul Ruzilko for the Meadville Bulldogs. Michael Farrell and Brian Kersey, the goal scorer so far for LaSalle. Shots on goal at this point, 23-6 in favor of Meadville, but we're all tied up at 2 on the scoreboard. 8:25 remaining in the second period. A false face-off. They'll have to line it up and do it again to the right side of the LaSalle net. Greg DeVito along with Art McQuillan. It's a pleasure to have you with us as we are forming a statewide network today to bring you this game. Also, it'll be televised later via tape-delay basis along Prime Sports, KBL out of Pittsburgh. So we'd like to welcome all of you for watching this AAA State High School Hockey Championship game to be played here in Johnstown. Right from the draw, Rikas with a wrist shot wide of the net. He'll give chase to the far corner of the LaSalle end. Knocked out of his reach, though, as Michael Moriello will have it. Moriello gave it away, gets it back, sweeps it around the horn, near side of his own end. Jeff Caniglio after it. Caniglio does send it up the near dashers, and it's cleared to center by Ryan Cohen. Cohen is dumped out on a sturdy check. Rikas able to jam it right back inside the LaSalle end. Explorers resetting. Behind his own net, Moriello. Left wing side, look to lead it out to center. Ryan Cohen coming on, backhands it to the Meadville line, but he gave it away, and back come the Bulldogs. They have a 2-on-1 if they hurry here, skidding into the zone and lifting one towards the net that time. Was Paul Ruzilko. He simply could not handle that rolling puck on edge, and it was covered up by McCullion for a face-off in the LaSalle end when we return. 7:44 remaining second period. We're tied at 2 here on 850 WJC. Once I saw both teams making a change, I figured we'd see it. Cambria County War Memorial in Johnstown, Pennsylvania. 7:25 to go second period. Tied at 2 in the state title game here, AAA level. Wrist shot towards the net by Vavakwa, and the kick save made by McCullion. LaSalle will have it. The Explorers out the center. Leading that rush up is Ryan Cohen. Or rather, that's Robert Farrell on the play. Farrell will give way to the right wing corner to Kevin Brady. Back behind the net to Robert Farrell in front. He's got his brother coming in, and Michael Farrell, but his shot was wide. Fed back to the front of the net, and it's covered up by John Baker. Some nifty passing there by the LaSalle Explorers. That top line Michael Robert Farrell, along with their cousin and Kevin Brady. They nearly made it happen there, Art.
Yeah, they good movement with the puck. They really turned the Meadville defenseman McWright there, caught him in a crossover, and were able to have a good quality scoring chance.
7:07 remaining second period. We're tied at 2 in the AAA state title game. The Meadville Bulldogs looking for their 5th straight state title at this level, going against the LaSalle Explorers. As Meadville wins the draw deep in their own end, and they bank it out the center. Coming on after that puck, left wing side, McElwain with a shot, and the riser was gloved out of the atmosphere by McCulion. This young goaltender has been so impressive here today. That time he was able to show his glove hand again as Joe McElwain on the left wing side put on a burst of speed. He was coming on his off wing, Art. It's very difficult at times to shoot the puck coming down the left wing side for a right-handed shot, but McElwain made the save nonetheless.
No, he did, and I think the thing that we're starting to notice is Meadville's starting to control the face-offs here. They generated that scoring chance based on a face-off deep in their defensive zone. So watch the face-offs here. They can make or break this hockey game.
Face-off upcoming to the right of LaSalle net, controlled by Meadville again. This time trying to get a shot towards the net, loose on the doorstep. D'Amato put it right up over the crossbar. Loose from behind the net, worked out in front, but right there to clear up his own end is Tyler Kolaric. And Kolaric now skating it out the center. Lost it in front of his own bench area. As the Bulldogs able to break things up, a sturdy body check that sent Stupianski flying, but not before he played it off of the near dashers deep inside the LaSalle end. Possession, Michael Moriello tried to clear. He had it gloved down, stolen away by Chad Porter. Porter lost possession. Out the center, the puck is poked at by LaSalle. Who's going to get there? Tyler Kolaric will have it. Kolaric coming on. Hit heavily on the play, but does work it inside of the Meadville end. Forced deeper by Brian Kersey. Back on the play is Mike Chornak. Chornak will spin it around the horn. Out on the right wing side to find Dan Leach. He gets around his man. Leach may have a chance here. On the right wing side of LaSalle, and Leach with a wrist shot of the stop made by DeCulley on the rebound. Followed by Rikas, but it's blocked wide of the net. Then along the far boards by Michael Moriello, but not out. Meadville able to keep. Between the circles, trying to walk his way in this time is Chad Porter. Porter in front of the net, and it's stopped by McCulley on the rebound. Jammed to the near boards, but not out. Here's McWright walking in. Fell down on the play. It's poked wide of the net by Rikas. Porter all wrapped up in front. Could not get there. A penalty upcoming. I believe it'll be going against LaSalle. Dan Leach was dumped out from behind the net, and a holding call upcoming here. That'll take off Casey Schaefer to the penalty box. Meadville gets to go to work with the man advantage.
Meadville really, to their credit, worked and forced the LaSalle kid to drag him down. Just their persistence around the net, quality scoring chances, and the LaSalle kid had to pull him down.
So Schaefer is off at the 9:19 mark, a 2-minute minor for holding. And this will be Meadville's second man advantage of the hockey game. They did not capitalize on their first.
2 minutes for holding.
Certainly the flow of this game has favored Meadville most of the time, but it's a 2-2 game on the scoreboard. 26-6 now. The shots on goal favoring this Meadville Bulldog team. They figured to get more here in this man advantage. Face off one, right point to Tedesco with a drive. It's blocked out in front, never made it to the net. Jeff Bavak will have things under control. Top of the circle to Tedesco, back near side. Here's McWright with a drive, and it caromed wide of the cage. Loose from behind the goal, gathered in by Ron Puz. He'll go right wing side before it's stripped away by LaSalle. And short-handed, Michael Farrell coming out 1-on-2. He skates it across his own line, now backwards. Inside of his own end, off his backhand, he lost it to Bavakwa. Centering feed, here's Puz, right wing circle shooting, and the stop made by McCulion. It'll carry him to the near corner, right point. McWright tried to keep, but he could not. And it comes across the line, the Bulldogs will have to reset. Tedesco plays it onto the glove of Greg Bilecki. Back deep in the Explorers' end. Robert Farrell behind his own net, lost it to Puz. Here's Bavakwa on his forehand, centering feed, and it's knocked away between the circles by LaSalle, and it's jammed over the near boards by Michael Farrell the length of the ice, sending Meadville all the way back to reset. 1:05 remaining on this Bulldog power play. 4:45 to go second period. We're all tied at 2. Deep inside the Meadville end, leading it out is Rocco Tedesco. Lead pass intended that time for Ruzilko, a bit behind him. Ruzilko giving chase, works it out in front of the LaSalle net area, but the only one there was Tyler Kolaric, and he's able to wrist it off with the stick of Tedesco back inside of the Meadville end. Tedesco going back to set things up. 40 seconds remaining on the man advantage. Out the center to find Dan Leach. Back to Tedesco. Being patient on the Bulldogs. Tedesco trying to play it near side, but Puz was coming off for a change. Porter fresh on. Allows it to carry him inside the LaSalle end, but it's wristed right back out rather quickly that time by Matthew Kelly. 25 remaining on this Meadville power play.
LaSalle's treading water at this point here. Watch for Meadville to score right here coming up. They've really got the pressure on.
Here's McWright, left wing side, inside the LaSalle end, his centering feed. Knocked from between the circles by Michael Moriello. Off of the near boards, the Bulldogs will have it. Porter in front of the net. It was deflected by Rikas and wide. On the right wing side, first one there is Leach. Leach goes back to the right point. A heavy slap shot. The save made by McCulley. The rebound to the net by Leach, and it's stopped by McCulley again. He'll settle for a face-off to his left. The Meadville Bulldogs certainly coming on with the heat here in the man advantage situation. Just 2 to go on the power play, but they have been unable to solve Patrick McCulley in this man advantage.
McCullion's really playing well, but Meadville's got the pressure on him. They have LaSalle back on their heels at this point, and Meadville, I think, is playing a few more people than LaSalle is. So we'll see the conditioning factor may come into play here.
3:42 remaining in the second period as we're all tied at 2 apiece. Meadville's largely dominated this game, but right now the #1 star happens to be Patrick McCulley of LaSalle. Back to full and even strength as out of the penalty box comes Casey Schaefer after serving his minor penalty. The Bulldogs with a steal, trying to backhand it out in front of the net. That time was Gabe Amato. His shot was blocked, gets back up on his skates, goes right point. Tornak shooting, loose on the doorstep. It's gathered in by LaSalle, fed to the line, but not out. Bouncing puck, who's going to get there? Tornak tried to keep, he could not. They'll play it off the right wing boards and back inside the zone. Delayed offside negated as Meadville able to clear the area. Dumped down now is Michael Moriello as he tried to clear. He was hit heavily from behind by Gabe Amato. A dangerous play that time as Moriello was playing that puck around the boards in his own end, and he had his shoulder at an odd angle that time, Art. He was dumped down by Gabe Amato, and it was not a dirty hit that time by Amato. It was simply the way the man was standing, and Moriello appears to be hurt here on the play as the training staff has to come out and take a look at it.
Well, Amato.
And the face-off to the right of the Explorers' cage. A false draw now is bursting into the circle too soon was Greg Bilecki. Defenseman for LaSalle. I think they're trying to make a late change here. And, yeah, we'll send somebody over the bench area, and Patrick McDonald. Maybe too many men on the ice. I don't know. At any rate, it's poked out to center by LaSalle from the draw. The Bulldogs back-checking well, though, are able to break things up, and Ron Puz will skate his way back inside LaSalle, and left wing side. He feathers it in front, looking for a deflection from Bavacqua, but it was denied at the side of the cage by the defenseman back on the play, and Matthew Kelly. Kelly now pinning Bavacqua to the far corner of the LaSalle end, and they'll freeze it there for a face-off upcoming the Explorers net. With 2:47 remaining in the second period, the game tied at 2. Let us pause 10 seconds for station identification here on 850 WJC. The starting goaltender for LaSalle holding the fort and keeping things close in this hockey game. We're tied at 2. As the draw controlled by LaSalle, Patrick McDonald from behind his own net, skating with the near side, was all wrapped up, lost it. Looking for a penalty on the play, but none to be found as it's wristed right back in by Meadville's Ben Carnes. 2.5 remaining in the second period. LaSalle trying to clear the end, and they do. Tyler Calera coming on. Will lead into the zone to Brian Kersey, left wing side. Here's Kersey coming in deep on the play now. Kersey in the left wing corner, putting on the brakes. He's looking for a trailer on the play. Trying to go back left point to a wide open Pat McDonald. But it bounced off of his stick and out to center. McDonald now gives it away to Chad Porter, left wing side. Porter putting on a burst of speed, trying to walk it out in front of the net, shooting, and it's stopped. The rebound Rikas to the net, and it's stopped again by McCulley on the rebound. Fed in front of the Meadville bench area, and it'll carry him the length of the ice. No icing on the play as it stops before it gets to the end line, and Tedesco is forced to play it back out to center. 1:50 remaining second period, all tied at 2. Jammed back in by LaSalle inside the Meadville end. Mike Chordak back on the scene, gave it away. Shooting up high, and the stop made that time. Brian Kersey coming in with a chance for LaSalle, but Baker, rarely tested in this game, was able to make his 5th stop of the afternoon. Meadville with it again deep in their own end. Chordak a bit indecisive here. Sent it off of the right wing boards out the center. Bob Amato coming on. Try to lead Joe Mackerlane. It'll trickle in on goaltender McCulley to the opposite end. McCulley leaves it in behind his own net. Meadville's the first one there. Nate Stupianski leaves it off of the end boards to Bob Amato on his forehand. Amato trying to work it out in front, knocked away by LaSalle. Good stick handling by Rob Farrell, and he's able to play it back out the center. Jammed in by Meadville, but as it's in on goaltender McCulley a offsides infraction whistle and a face-off outside of the LaSalle end.
Watch for Baker. He hasn't seen any shots in that. If LaSalle can put one on net, he hasn't seen the puck in a while. Be interesting to see how he handles it.
1:12 remaining second period, all tied up at 2 apiece between the Meadville Bulldogs and the LaSalle Explorers. The AAA state title game here at the Cambria County War Memorial in Johnstown, Pennsylvania. Face-off just outside of the LaSalle end. As Ruzilko is in for it, he's able to kick it inside the line from the draw. Right there, though, is Matt Kelly for LaSalle, and Kelly able to skate it out the center. Lost possession, Ruzilko with it. A good backhanded pass. He's got a man left wing side, and Ron Puz. Puz coming on. In the left wing circle, he's ridden out on a nice back-checking job by Moriello back onto the ice here. They'll tangle in the near corner. Bodies banging off the boards, and they finally pin the puck to the Dashers long enough for a faceoff to the right LaSalle net. Just 50 seconds remaining in the stanza.
This line of Puz, Rizilko, and Babak was played real well for Meadville here through 2 periods. Naturally, they're their top line. They're going to look for them to put the puck in the net here.
Well, this is the first of 3 hockey games on the afternoon. The AA game will be immediately following this one, as we will have all the action for you right here on the network that we put together. So we hope to have you on board for all 3 games. The next one will be Greensburg Central Catholic against Upper Darby for the Class AA title. At center, loose puck gathered in by Jeff Bavacqua. He's able to sneak it down the right wing boards. Puck rolling on edge, deep inside LaSalle end. Puz is the first one there. He's got some room to work in front of that. Shooting in the stop, made the rebound. Puz again on his forehand, and it's stopped by McCulion as he freezes it to the right side of his net. He received a lot of help that time in front by Robert Farrell, who was down on all 4s. And somehow, the Meadville Bulldogs do not find that puck to the back of the net. They have to be feeling rather frustrated here in the second period.
But they keep working and working. Puz, good effort to get to that puck, chased it down, was able to circle in front. Actually had 2 cracks at it, but they've not been able to solve McCulion as of yet.
Shots on goal 34-7 in this game, and whenever you hear stats like that, you expect somewhat of a blowout, but it is not. We're tied 2-2 with 24 seconds remaining in the second period. Meadville is dominated, but they have been stopped stone cold by Patrick McCulion, the outstanding goaltender for the LaSalle Explorers. Meadville able to roll it inside the line, but McWright had it poked away and jammed out the center by Greg Bilecki. Right back in, Meadville will play it. 10 remaining in the period. Here's Bavacqua trying to work it in front. Puz had that pass behind him. McWright could not keep it at left point, and here comes Kolaric now coming on for LaSalle. A foot race to try to get to that puck, but it crosses the end line for a icing infraction. Just 2 remaining in the period. Now that's one of the differences between the high school game as compared to the pro game. Whenever the puck is sent up ice from behind center red, it must first be touched by a defensive player in the pro game to be blown dead on an icing infraction. But here in high school and also in the collegiate level, as soon as it crosses the end line, the play is frozen. And that is something that is done to try to prevent injuries, obviously, at this level.
Meadville's going to pull their goaltender here. 2 seconds showing on the clock. They're going to put 6 people, send them to the net. They're going to have Rikas take the draw here.
Time for one more chance by Meadville, as they have the 6th attacker on here, but the faceoff is scrummed for in the near corner. And it's poked wide of the net as the buzzer sounds, bringing period number 2 to a close. Been a very entertaining hockey game here so far, and Meadville out shooting their opposition 34-7 after 2 periods, but they're all tied up on the scoreboard 2-2. We will step aside to bring you news and features between periods 2 and 3, and when we return, we'll have 3rd period action of the Class AAA state title game. 2 periods in the books. It's Meadville 2 and the LaSalle Explorers 2 here on 850 WJAC.
Featuring your team name, nickname, color.
And in there, I think their goaltender, Cohen, has just had a fantastic effort for him thus far. And goaltender could be the difference. Baker really not tested much in the second period, but both teams have gone to the room, had a chance to regroup, get some last words of wisdom from the coaches, and they're ready to go.
You can hear the throng of Bulldogs fans on edge trying to fire this Meadville team up as they look for their 5th consecutive state title at the AAA level. The puck is dropped, and we are underway here in the 3rd and final period of regulation play. Meadville able to poke it in behind the Explorers net. Here's Bavacqua spinning one out in front. The stop made by McCulion as he looked over his shoulder. That one came close that time to beating McCulion, but he was able to make the save and hold it using his catching mitt to the left leg pad and a face-off to his left.
As we indicated earlier, Meadville's really able to control the puck down low below the goal line. Not much room behind the net here at the War Memorial, and that bodes well for Meadville.
Face-off controlled by the Bulldogs. Here's Bavacqua again firing, and the blocker pad save made by McCulion. The far boards Puz is there to keep it alive for the Bulldogs. Rolls it in behind the net. Slipped out in front by Rizilka, but the only one there was Tyler Koralik. He's able to clear the zone before it's smacked right back in. Delayed offside. Against Meadville, they must clear the zone, and as they do, LaSalle will have possession. And across their own line they come. At center, Tyler Kolaric had it poked out of his reach. Let back deep inside the Explorers end by Chad Porter of the Bulldogs. Whistled around the horn near side, and it's backhanded out by Kolaric once more. At center with that puck is Brian Kersey. He'll sneak it inside of the Bulldogs end. 14:05 remaining, 3rd period as we're all tied at 2 here in the AAA state title game. Meadville out of their own zone with that puck. Mike Chordak will bank it off of the near wood in front of the LaSalle bench area. Bouncing puck finally gathered in by LaSalle's Robert Farrell. He looks to clear, but he could not. Here's Chad Porter at the right point. Porter trying to work it in deep on the zone. Hit on the play, but he keeps coming. He works it in front of the net. It'll bounce wide. Over the far corner, Rikas is there. Goes back left point. McWright shooting it. The bucket and hit the puck. The rebound to the net, and it's stopped by McGillion. Loose puck gathered in by Jordak as he keeps. Well, the fans behind the net thought it had gone in, but it rang off of the pike. That's two Metallurgic saves in this hockey game so far by LaSalle. Fed to the line. Did it make it across? No, it did not. Meadville able to keep. Here's Leach. This time it does sneak it across the blue stripe, and LaSalle will be able to clear the zone. Michael Farrell coming on the right wing side. He's hooked from behind by Rikas. Lost it inside of the Bulldogs' end. Gathered in by Stupiansky fresh on, but it could not clear the zone as Greg Balecki is able to keep. He sent it out of the back dashers where it came out in front. John Baker, the goaltender for Meadville, able to cover things up for a face-off to the left of the Meadville net. 13:04 remaining third period. We're all tied at 2.
McCullion thanking that place down there. That could be a goaltender's best friend. And Meadville really applying the pressure the first 2 minutes of this period. They haven't missed a step. They've come right back strong.
37-7. The shots on goal favoring Meadville, but we're all knotted up at 2 apiece on the scoreboard. And this one figures to go right down to the wire to decide the state titleist at the AAA level. Fed off of the boards, and man falls down. Here's Amato coming on for Meadville. Amato on the off wing, left wing side, trying to backhand it out in front. He was dumped off his skates. They'll jam now in behind the LaSalle net where it's pried out of there by Joe McAlane. McAlane centering feed, now coming to the right point. Here's Carnes deep on the play. Carnes wants to slip it out in front. Amato on his backhand in front. Shooting with Stupiansky, and a beautiful save by McGillion. Well, he got the blocker pad out to turn that one aside. Here's Amato now back in front. Shooting, and it's stopped again by McGillion. Loose behind the net. A wraparound mid to the near side. This stopped off of the side of the cage over the far corner of the LaSalle end. It's finally gathered in by the Explorers. Grant Heaton as he slipped at the length of the ice. We have a man down in the play. It's Matthew Kelly appears to be a bit shaken up as he had McAlane's stick lodged underneath him along the ice surface. And with Matt Kelly down on the surface, they'll stop things as the training staff comes out to take a look at the fallen Explorer defenseman.
Just can't say enough about McCullion. 3 point-blank chances for Meadville. He answered the bell on each of them, and he'll be one tired young man this evening. I can tell you that much.
Win or lose, I think it would be tough to find a star in this game who has shown brighter than Pat McCullion. 39 shots on goal for Meadville, and he's turned aside 37 of them to this point. While they continue to tend to Matt Kelly will step aside. 12:24 remaining third period. We're all tied at 2 here on WJC Radio. Turning to the neutral zone. 12:24 remaining third period. Meadville 2, LaSalle 2. In this, the AAA title game. Pennsylvania high school hockey. Greg DeVito along with Art McQuillan. And it's a pleasure to have you with us on this Saturday afternoon. As the puck is dropped and LaSalle controlling from the draw. Greg Balecki able to play it off the window deep inside of the Bulldogs' end. Behind his own net, Dave McWright looks to clear, could not. Firing one towards the net, but wide was LaSalle. Banked over the boards and out the center. A foot race here. Rizzuko coming in. He'll get up to that loose puck. He walks in. A shot is stopped by McGillion. The rebound free for a moment, but it's poked to the near corner of the Explorers' end. On his forehand is Ron Paz. Behind the net, it's worked in front, and Bavako with a spinning shot. I believe that McGillion got a piece of that one. Jammed over the boards, the length of the ice. It should be an icing call here, and it will be. Meadville coming with all sorts of heat, but they simply cannot put it past McGillion, as he made a couple of more splendid saves to keep this one knotted up at 2 apiece.
LaSalle's starting to match lines here as they did somewhat in the second period here, but Puz's line has generated a lot of offense, and Rikas here has done 21 for Meadville, has done a real good job on the draws, so we'll see if they can be successful here on this draw.
Face-off upcoming to the rival LaSalle net. 11:50 remaining in the third period. We're all tied at 2 apiece. Meadville out shooting LaSalle 40-7 at this point. Face-off controlled by LaSalle. Over the right wing boards, Kevin Brady able to send it on to center, but it's quickly gathered in by Meadville. Stripping it away, though, is Robert Farrell. Farrell's only play is to backhand it off of the boards deep inside the Bulldogs' end. Fed to the near side, trying to keep to the left point was Moriello for LaSalle. Could not do so. Loose puck at center, gathered in by Robert Farrell, and he plays it up to the Bulldogs' line. Leach gave it away. Coming on down the right wing side is Michael Farrell. Farrell with a backdoor pass. He's got his brother Bob coming in, but he could not get the shot away. At the right point, stripped away by Rikas, and he'll skate it out to center for Meadville. Rikas coming on with a burst of speed here. Right wing side of the LaSalle end. He looks for Leach on the left wing side. Leach in front of the net. He's got a man wide open shooting, and it's blocked. It never made it to the net as Chad Porter could not pull the trigger. Loose puck in the right wing corner of the LaSalle end. Fed around the boards by Moriello. Near side with that puck. Michael Farrell tries to clear. He could not do so, and now a whistle. I believe we'll have a hand pass here blown against the Meadville Bulldogs, and that'll take the face-off outside the zone with 10:58 remaining third period.
Leach really wrenched his shoulder on that hit down in front of the LaSalle goaltender, and he's hurt there. It's really in a lot of pain coming on to him.
Head coach Jamie Plunkett of the Meadville Bulldogs looking for their 5th straight state title, the AAA level against this LaSalle Explorers team, making their first appearance ever, the state championship game, and it's been a dogfight so far. This face-off controlled by Meadville at the checkered stripe. Carnes is able to sneak it inside the zone, but LaSalle quick just to belt it right back out. Very patient is this LaSalle team, as they've largely been dominated by Meadville, but have a chance thanks to some strong goaltending by Pat McCullion. Left wing side of the Meadville end with it is Bob Amato. Will sneak it out to center. McWright going to Mackerlay. Joe Mackerlay left wing side back in front. Here's McWright, but he could not pull the trigger as the puck bouncing a bit, and he never got clean possession. Here's Amato coming on. Amato behind the net to McElwain in front. Here's McWright shooting, and the stop made by McCullion. The rebound. McElwain trying to jam it in, but McCullion has it under him for a face-off to the left. And now some pushing and shoving after the whistle, but cooler heads prevailing as again McCullion, Johnny on the spot to make the save, and a face-off to his left.
Well, I don't think there's any question he's been the story of this hockey game. Meadville's just literally thrown everything at him but the kitchen sink, and he just keeps coming up and up and up with the big save, and we're near the 10-minute mark here.
Face-off deep inside the LaSalle end as Meadville putting on the pressure here, looking for the go-ahead goal. We're all tied up at 2 apiece. 10:21 remaining in the third period. Face-off controlled by the Explorers. Puzo bursting after it. Will have it for the Bulldogs. Wrapped from behind the net. He lost possession. Ruzilko coming over. As there's a mad scrum for that puck. It's poked away by LaSalle and sent out to center. Going back inside of his own line to gain possession is Mike Chordak. Chordak of Meadville near side to Rocco Tedesco. Tedesco tried to play it off the boards and out the center, but instead it skipped up over the glass out of play. We'll have a stoppage. And a face-off upcoming inside the Meadville end. 10 minutes even remaining in regulation with this one all tied up at 2 apiece. Goal scorers so far this afternoon, Mike Chornak and Paul Ruzilko for Meadville, while Michael Farrell and Brian Kersey for LaSalle. You feel the intensity picking up, Art, as the crowd starting to get into this game. The more it wears on.
10 minutes even to go.
Face-off control by LaSalle. A quick shot that time by Kolaric, and a good stop made by John Baker. He hasn't seen a lot of rubber, but he had to be sharp to make that one. On the near boards, Kolaric still digging for it. The Bulldogs looked to lift it out, but they could not. Ruzilko had it kept in. As Michael Moriello will roll it in behind the Bulldogs net area. Tedesco in the far corner. Tedesco lost possession, but it's played over the boards, not out. A wrist shot from the right point. Attempted by Matthew Kelly, deflects behind the net. A centering feed now comes out in between the circles. There's Casey Schaefer. He just fed it out of the boards, but it's jammed out to center by Meadville. It will carry him the length of the ice. No icing on the play. As coming out of his own net to play it is Patrick McCullion to the right point. The Bulldogs have it. They jam it back in. This one will be an offside infraction as Brad McWright had just played it back in, and now the tempers flaring here a bit after the whistle. At center ice is dumped down on the play. It was Ron Paz. He reacted, but was restrained by the linesman. Will have a face-off at neutral. 9:16 remaining in regulation.
Referees have done a really nice job letting the kids play, letting the flow of the game. They called absolutely what they had to. And to the kids' credit on both squads, real clean, intense ice hockey.
Certainly has been a joy to watch these two teams. Just 3 total power plays in the game, 2 for Meadville and 1 for LaSalle. Game tied at 2 with 9:10 remaining in the third period. LaSalle inside of their own line. That puck and backhand it out to center is Greg Bilecki. LaSalle coming on. Robert Farrell left wing side. Farrell looks to sneak it out in front. Reaching for it was Kevin Brady. He just could not get there. Brady with it. Now he played it in front, and it was deflected across the doorstep by Michael Farrell. Battling for it, Robert Farrell near side will receive help from his brother Michael. Michael has it, walks it in front of the net. His backhanded centering feed was picked away by Chad Porter. And Porter very systematically just playing it on the boards back inside the LaSalle end. First one back on the scene is Patrick McDonald. He's hit on a sturdy check that time by Dan Leach. Back up on his skates. Trying to clear the zone, but he could not. Porter coming in now to throw his weight around. He'll have it for the Bulldogs. Far corner of the Explorers end. Porter looks for somewhere to go. He tried to slip it out in front. It's blocked away. Loose puck bouncing its way out the center. Michael Farrell could not get there for LaSalle. As the Bulldogs break things up, and back they come. Bob Amato playing it off the skate of Pat McDonald. Deep inside the LaSalle zone. 8:15 remaining in the game. All tied at 2. Played off of the boards and out the center by LaSalle as it's sent back in that time by Mike Chornak. Delayed offside, negated as they clear the zone, and LaSalle able to bank that puck out to center. Coming on with it now is Greg Bilecki, right wing side, hit by Stupiansky. He'll just send to the left wing corner of the Meadville end, looking for a line change. Bob Amato Places some open ice out at neutral. First one there is Matt Kelly back in this game after being injured moments ago. Kelly leaves it off to the oncoming Greg Cavane. Cavane with a drop pass. Right wing side, Ryan Cohen. Cohen slips it in front, and it's poked just wide of the net. Baker may have got a piece of it. Now back out on the doorstep with a wrist shot up high, and it's stopped as Brent Heaton tried to put it in on the short side. I believe it may have caught a piece of the net, and very quickly John Baker covering things up for a face-off to his right. So LaSalle with a bit of a flurry as they look for the go-ahead goal.
LaSalle's really turned it up a notch here from the 10-minute mark down. We're at 7.5 now. Last 2.5 minutes, LaSalle's really come on strong and put a lot of pressure on the Meadville goaltender Baker. Face-off outside the Meadville blue line now with LaSalle's making one last shot.
7:39 remaining in regulation, all tied at 2 between the Meadville Bulldogs and the LaSalle Explorers. Both teams managing 1 goal per period through the first 2. Face-off controlled by the Bulldogs. It's flipped up over the glass and out of play that time by Rocco Tedesco. And have to line it up for another face-off, this one occurring just inside of the Meadville line on the far boards. Greg DeVito along with Art McQuillan, the first of 3 games to be held here on this championship Saturday at the Cambria County War Memorial in Johnstown, Pennsylvania. This being the AAA game, Meadville against LaSalle. The Bulldogs, winners of 4 straight state titles, looking for their 5th here today, but they're having difficulty with this LaSalle Explorers Club in their first state title game ever. Meadville back inside the LaSalle end. Bavacqua in front of the net. It was backhanded by Ruzilko, trying to sneak one in on the short side, but again, it's stopped by McKillion on the face-off to his left. A good crowd starting to file in on hand here, Art. At the beginning of the game, there wasn't this many people, but with a AA game scheduled right after this, you got teams now from 4 different, or fans from 4 different teams starting to fill it in rather nicely. Adding to the excitement for these kids on the ice as Bavacqua has it. His wrist shot through a crowd. It was blocked down in front, I believe, by his own man and Ron Puz. At the left point, kept alive by Tedesco, firing, and he missed the net. He'll carry him off of the end boards, near corner of the LaSalle end. Brian Kersey after it, could not lift it out of the zone as McWright had pinched in to keep it alive. That's Ben McWright on the play. And it's finally stripped out of there, though, by Tyler Kolaric, and out the center, Kolaric will play it. Pass a bit behind Casey Schaefer. The Bulldogs trying to come on. Ron Puz had it knocked away neatly. That's on by Michael Moriello. This puck still at center, finally gathered in by Ruzilko, and he'll sneak it just inside the LaSalle end. Way back out, Chad Porter, though, for Meadville will have possession. He wristed in deep on the zone, into the zone on the play as Meadville looking for a line change here. Kolaric in the right point area will send it out the center. Look out here, LaSalle may have a chance. Coming on the left wing side is Brian Kersey on his backhand. Kersey wrapped up, back checking well that time for the Meadville Bulldogs was Dave McWright. A near 2-on-1, but Meadville able to get back in their own zone and break things up. Now their chance to go the other way. Here's Chad Porter. Porter puts on a burst of speed. Left wing side. Trying to drop it off. McWright shooting, and the glove stop made by McCullion. That one was ticketed for the upper right-hand corner, but McCullion got the glove on it to deflect it to the near corner. Play still on deep in the LaSalle end. From behind his own net, Greg Bilecki will play it near side. Rikas able to keep. Right point to Carnes. Carnes trying to go back to Rikas. It'll roll deep inside the LaSalle end. Being hooked on the play is Dan Leach. Leach all wrapped up by Pat McDonald. Puck is gathered in by LaSalle. Back into the center point, not out. Stupianski trying to keep. Poked out of his reach. And back out the center. 5:40 remaining in the game. Still tied at 2. Meadville again in the midst of a line change. Have played that puck deeper in the zone. Coming on is Joe McErlane to keep. McErlane had it poked away, and LaSalle will race after that puck at center. Michael Farrell could not get there as Meadville breaks things up, and back they go the other way. Here's Tedesco in deep on the play. Tedesco shooting, deflected up over the crossbar. The rebound from behind the net, slipped along the glass by Pat McDonald, but not out. Amato able to keep for the Bulldogs. Back in behind the net, Amato with a steal now. He had his pocket picked, though, right back by Pat McDonald. Coming on to Stupianski. Stupianski from behind the net to Amato. His wraparound bid, and it danced across the doorstep, but nobody was there for Meadville to poke it in. Amato with it again. He tried to work it out in front. A nice sliding play to break it up by the Explorers, Robert Farrell. From behind the net, Farrell hit to the ice by Amato, and they'll freeze it there for a face-off. Upcoming inside the LaSalle end. We go for a timeout. We'll take it here. 4:55 remaining third period. We're tied at 2 here on WJC Radio. All righty. Back at the Cambria County War Memorial, the tension builds with 4:50 remaining in regulation, all tied at 2 in the state title game. Here's Tyler Kolaric now trying to walk his way inside the Meadville end. He could not get the shot away, kept alive by LaSalle's Casey Schaefer. Schaefer will backhand it off of the near boards. The Bulldogs trying to keep that puck pinned to the end boards, but it's kicked out of there, gathered in by Ruzilko. And Paul Rosicko will just sneak at the length of the ice. This one should be an icing call here, and it will be on the icing infraction as it takes the faceoff all the way back inside the Meadville end. 4:27 remaining in the game as we're all tied at 2 apiece. Art McQuillan, the tension building in this game. Meadville has to be wondering what they have to do to win this baby here as they have outshot LaSalle 44-8 on the game. But Patrick McQuillan turning in the performance of his life to this point.
The thing we're seeing, too, at this point in the game, Greg, is both coaches not hesitant to switch lines, almost 30-second intervals on-off, every whistle, stay focused, and it's going to be...
Chad Porter coming on from the draw. He's hooked out on the play. The Meadville fans looking for a penalty, none to be found. Marikas deep inside the LaSalle end. Could not pry that puck out of the mass of bodies. Able to do so for LaSalle is Robert Farrell. He looks to skate it across his own line. Will play it near side to his brother Michael. He lost it though behind the LaSalle net. Leach is there, but he's pinned to the boards on a sturdy check by Matt Kelly. And very alertly, Patrick McQuillan, the goaltender of LaSalle, jumps out to smother things at the side of the net for a faceoff upcoming to his right. 4:02 remaining in this game. And if this is any indication as to what we can expect in terms of
both teams and their schools can be very proud of these student athletes out here this afternoon.
Slip to the net from the draw that time by Ruzilko, and right there again is McQuillan to make the save, his 43rd save of the afternoon. 45-8 the shots on goal. I know that I keep harping on it, but it's just amazing that LaSalle still has a chance to win this game and the state title despite being dominated by Meadville to this point.
I don't think there's any question about who the most valuable player in this hockey game is.
Tyler Kolaric coming on to center was hooked down as he tried to make his way inside the Meadville end. Could not make a play. Loose puck comes bouncing right to Ron Puz, the captain of the Bulldogs, trying to get the motor going inside the LaSalle end. Pinned to the boards on a good job checking that time by Patrick McDonald. Loose puck gathered in by Meadville. They feed it to the front of the net, knocked aside. Loose from behind the goal. Left point, here's McWright keeping, shooting. It was blocked. It never made it to the cage. Bouncing puck swept out of there very alertly by Brian Kersey, and it'll trickle all the way back inside the Meadville end. Down to 3:20 remaining in regulation. Still tied at 2. Here's Bavacqua deep in his own end. Bavacqua going left side to McWright. Out to center, reaching for it. Trying to find it was Ruzilko. He lost it. Here's Dan Leach following, though. And Leach is able to wrist it off the near boards deep inside the LaSalle end. Carrying into the far corner. Dragged by Leckie, looks to clear. Did it make it across the line? Yes, it did before Chordak played it back in. And this one will be blown dead on an offside infraction. Failing to clear the zone was Joe McErlane, and so that'll take the face-off outside of LaSalle end with just 3:01 remaining in regulation. Certainly these two teams have gone at it toe-to-toe here. The Meadville Bulldogs looking for their 5th straight state title and overall record this year of 33-19-2. While the LaSalle Explorers coming out of the Eastern half to win the Flyer Cup with an overall record of 35-9-2 on the season. Their first ever appearance in a state title game. Face-off won by Meadville as Rikas works it inside the zone. Right there, though, to gather things in is Moriello. For LaSalle, will play it around the horn near side and on to center. With that puck comes Robert Farrell. Here's Farrell putting on a burst of speed. Stood up, though, as he made his way inside the Meadville end. Loose puck gathered in by Brady. He's got a man wide open in front in Michael Farrell, but he could not get that pass there. Oh, my. That would have been a serious defensive breakdown for Meadville, but Brady simply could not work it out in front. Porter now coming back. Jammed to the boards, but following his lead, he has it. Shooting in the stop, made that time by McQuillan. Loose puck on the doorstep, gathered in by Meadville. Back inside, he scores! Mike Chornak is deep on the play. The defenseman up on the play, and his backhand shot beats McQuillan with just 2:25 remaining as Meadville back on top, 3-2.
Chornak really just nice athletic move, pivoted on his backhand, able to put the puck on the net, and just caught McQuillan leaning the wrong way. They have to look so they don't take a unsportsmanlike delay a game penalty right here, and the referee's starting to think about calling it right here. Morgard's looking.
Well, they have to get their sticks and gloves cleaned up rather quickly, but Chornak with his 2nd goal of the afternoon at Meadville with just 2:25 remaining in regulation, back on top, 3-2. The LaSalle Explorers a bit stunned here. They had a chance to possibly get that puck out of the zone, but it took a strange bounce out in front. The defenseman in deep on the play, Mike Chornak, just snuck one low to the ice off his backhand, and it beats McQuillan to the glove side. So it's a 3-2 Meadville lead with 2:20 remaining. LaSalle winning the draw, and they risked it deep inside of the zone. At the left point, unable to keep, and look out here, Meadville coming back. Ruzilko after that puck. Ruzilko lost it, but Bavacqua has it a centering feed in front, and it was stopped aside by the Explorers by Patrick McDonald. McDonald hit the far corner, lost it. Here's Bavacqua. Bavacqua from behind the net, trying to walk it out in front. McGillian made the save. The rebound free, and it's kicked out of there by LaSalle. Trying to keep it to left point is McWright. He's hit heavily on the play, but is able to keep it inside of the zone. Wrapped up on the far boards is Bavacqua. We have a penalty upcoming here. Who's this one going against? The whistle blowing. Tyler Kolaric was involved with Paul Ruzilko for Meadville. The whistle blows, and it looks like it's going against the LaSalle Explorers. Just 1:49 remaining in the game. It's 3-2 Meadville. We hope for one more timeout. We'll take it here on 850 WJAC.
LaSalle penalty to number 17, Patrick McDonald. 2 minutes for roughing. Time of the penalty, 13-11. LaSalle McDonald, 2 minutes for roughing.
Oh.
Yep. Okay.
Timeout, LaSalle.
Cambria County War Memorial in Johnstown, Pennsylvania. LaSalle down to their last breath of air as the Meadville Bulldogs on the goal by Mike Tornak, his second of the game at 12:35 of the third period, has put Meadville on top 3-2, just 1:49 remaining in the game. And the penalty that was whistled against LaSalle went to Patrick McDonald, so they will be short-handed the rest of the way. And Art McQuillan, certainly for the LaSalle Explorers, you have to tip your hat. They gave it a gallant effort here today. But it looks like Meadville will skate away with their 5th straight state title.
Well, there are a minute 49 to go here. Look for LaSalle probably to pull their goaltender. They're going to be a man short anyways, but I would expect them to pull out all the stops right here. They have nothing to lose, nothing to hang their heads about, but I expect to see them pull the goaltender and try and tie this thing up.
Outstanding game played so far. Meadville out shooting LaSalle 47-8. You have to tip your hat to Patrick McGillian. The young goaltender for the LaSalle Explorers just played his heart out here today. We're certainly hoping for better results, but that goal by Mike Tornak, even though it was one that caught McGillian a bit by surprise, just slipped right along the ice off the backhand. It is one that will go down in the laurels of Meadville hockey should they hold on to win this one here this afternoon. They have a power play the rest of the way as Pat McDonald is off for a roughing call at 13-11. So a 5-on-4 advantage for Meadville as they try to kill the clock. 1:49 away from their 5th straight state title. Face-off won by Meadville. McWright shooting and the kick save made by McGillian. It'll bounce to the near corner. Rikas with it. Rikas trying to just roll it in behind the net. Porter is there as well, but LaSalle able to break things up. Rikas able to strip it right back. Here's Puz in the near corner. He lost it. Center point to Tedesco. Able to keep it alive for Meadville. Bouncing puck far side. Matthew Kelly trying to get it across his own line. He did as he dumps down Meadville's Dave Rikas on the play. But back coming is Chad Porter. Porter hit. He lost it. Rikas trying to keep. We have a pair of players wrapped up right in front of the penalty box area. And the whistle will blow so that Matthew Kelly can become untangled with the Meadville player. And that's Ron Puz who is wrapped up over there. Well, Art, a dandy of a hockey game. It went down to the waning moments. As the Meadville Bulldogs, well, it looks now that Ron Puz has picked up a penalty here with just 1:15 remaining, so hold your horses. Don't go anywhere just yet. Certainly changes the complexion of the game a bit, as now it'll be a 4-on-4 situation, and LaSalle still has a chance.
Faceoff's going to be outside the LaSalle blue line, so look for them to try and get the puck in deep into the Meadville end, get the goaltender off, and try and score with the goaltender pulled.
So the Meadville Bulldogs squander a chance here to essentially put it out of reach. It's a 3-2 Meadville lead with a minute 15 remaining. A 4-on-4 situation as Ron Puz goes off for roughing. So LaSalle still with a chance in this game. They work it inside the zone. Colerico had it stripped away near side. There was thoughts of bringing the goaltender, but with Meadville breaking it up. Tedesco now going right wing side. Ruzilko shooting up high, and a blocker pad save made by McGillian. Under a minute now remaining in the game. 3-2 Meadville leads. LaSalle trying to get it out across their own line. Bavacqua thought he kept it in, but not according to the linesman / referee John O'Leary. So the whistle blows. An offside infraction will bring up a face-off just outside of the LaSalle end.
important thing for Meadville to remember if LaSalle does get their goaltender out is they have enough goals to win. They want to make sure they cross center red before they put the puck in deep. Don't take a chance because the goal is meaningless to them at this point.
51 seconds remaining in the game. 3-2 Meadville leads, and they bank it on the boards inside the LaSalle end. Going backwards is Michael Mariello from behind his own net. He'll play it near side. The only one there was Meadville's Bavacqua. He'll just play it onto the rail of the Dashers back in behind the LaSalle net area. Here's Robert Farrell trying to get the motor going to center. We'll lead it up to Tyler Koleric. A backhanded pass. He's got a man coming in, and Kersey on his backhand shot. Oh, and he just pushed it wide of the far post. It'll bounce off the floorboards where it's gathered in by Rocco Tedesco. He fell down behind the net, lost it. Here's Kersey in the near corner. Center point, he's got a man in Farrell. Wrist shot, and it's deflected wide of the net. Down to 15 remaining in the game. Bavacqua on the right wing side. Tried to clear, but he could not. Kept alive by LaSalle. Meadville breaks it up to the line. Bavacqua has it. There's 8 remaining in the game as he plays it out to center. 5 to go on the score clock. As it's gathered in by Meadville, they send it to length of the ice, and that'll do it. The Bulldogs win the state title as they hold on down the stretch. Defend off the LaSalle Explorers 3-2. The celebration is on in Meadville, and what a heart-stopping effort here tonight as Meadville has claimed their 5th straight state title by holding on to beat LaSalle.
Just a tremendous effort by both hockey teams. Excellent played game, good coaching, good sportsmanship the whole way around, and Meadville's enjoying this one.
Well, certainly if you're head coach Jamie Plunkett, you have to enjoy this one. The state title is often the ultimate goal for any single coach, but to have done it 5 consecutive times makes it that much sweeter. And the Meadville Bulldogs hold on down the stretch to fend off a furious attempt by LaSalle late in the game to skate away with a 3-2 win. And they have claimed the Class AAA state title in Pennsylvania for the 5th consecutive year and the 7th in the last 10 years under head coach Jamie Plunkett.
Just a tremendous effort, and Coach Pete Nolan of LaSalle bringing his kids in. Just a superlative effort on their part. They have nothing to be ashamed of. They came and they gave it their all, and just a quality hockey game all the way around.
I don't think there's any doubt that Patrick McCulion is the #1 star of this hockey game, not only for LaSalle, but in general. He made splendid save after splendid save as he comes up 1 goal short. An outstanding effort here. The final shots on goal in the game were 49-8 in favor of Meadville, meaning that McCulion turned aside 46 of the 49 shots that he faced. That backhanded shot down the stretch, though, Art, I really thought it had a chance to sneak in there. LaSalle had that chance with the extra attacker on, but they could not convert, and Meadville holds on for the win.
Kersey with a chance coming down late, also with an opportunity, but just wasn't meant to be today for LaSalle. Meadville, good strong team effort, good strong team defensive effort to limit LaSalle's shots on goal, and now we'll watch them shake hands at center ice here.
Well, the traditional handshake to be held between the Meadville Bulldogs and the LaSalle Explorers. We'll be back on the postgame show. Again, the Meadville Bulldogs have won the AAA championship as they have defeated the LaSalle Explorers 3-2. The postgame show when we return here on 850 WJAC.
This is the top of the cake right here. We had a really bad season. We've had kind of a bad season, but now, after this, it's great. Sums it all up, really.
You haven't scored a bigger goal in your life, have you?
I've only had 1 goal this season so far, and this makes 2 now. I mean 3. So I got 2 today. So I'm happy. Real happy.
I don't know if I can't remember a game this close where you outshoot a team 45-8, and you know the kid just made great save after great save, and you know I told our kids, hey, we can't do anything different. Hopefully they'll go in, and we were fortunate to get one there at the end.
Well, I just tried to do my best to give the team an opportunity to win. And unfortunately, we couldn't pull it out in the end. Well, our team's real close, and we feel that we're a real good team, and that we can play with anybody. But it just didn't work out how we wanted to.
Can we have both teams please line up on the blue line? Both teams please line up on the blue line. And we have all the teams lining up the blue line. We've already gone over the roster for LaSalle. Head coach of LaSalle is Peter Nolan, with assistant coaches Roger Williams, Thomas Rodolfi, and John Haggerty. Now again, we'd like to bring you the Team Meadville, the AAA champions. Again, we acknowledge number 1,
This is what's going to take the longest.
Number 2, Dave McWright. Number 4, Eric Ferguson. Number 5, Mike Chornak. Number 7, Brad McWright. Number 9, Ben Carnes. Number 10, Jason Osborne. Number 11, Jeff Bavacqua. Number 14, Ron Collins. Number 15, Chad Porter. Number 17, Joe Peters.
Back here at the Cambria County War Memorial in downtown Johnstown, Pennsilvania, the celebration on for the Meadville Bulldogs as they have taken the Class AAA state title here in Game 1 of the triple header of high school hockey action on the afternoon. Art McQuillan, an outstanding game that goes right down to the final moments. Mike Chornak, with a pair of goals in this game, gets the MVP of the championship for the Meadville Bulldogs, and certainly Patrick McCullion could have been considered, even though his team came up short in a losing cause, but both of those young men deserving of the MVP status for their respective clubs.
Just super effort, really, and I think to McCullion's credit too, I think he can live with himself in the sense that it was a good goal that was scored. You hate to have a game of this importance, of this magnitude, decided on a fluke-type goal. It was just a great shot by Chornak. He didn't get rid of the puck quickly and beat him to, they just caught inside the post. So McCullion, just a great effort on his part, and really backstopped LaSalle and was the main reason they were in it as long as they were, especially in view of the shot total.
And listen to the applause that McCullion gets as they name him the MVP. They are absolutely, both sides, just applauding the efforts of Patrick McCullion. Simply a splendid effort, and I'm sure it's a feeling that he'll never forget. His team coming so close, he did everything in his power to try to win this game, but certainly it's a nice touch to have MVPs for both clubs, and now they will present the MVP for the LaSalle, or rather for the Meadville Bulldogs, and that will be no doubt Mike Chornak. 2 of his team's 3 goals against the game winner with just 2:25 remaining in regulation. And Art, you just had that feeling coming into the third period. Meadville had the pressure at the outset as they tried to end it early, but credit LaSalle, they held their ground and it took them all the way until the waning moment to finally poke one in what proved to be the game winner.
No, I mean, you can tell just watching the Meadville kids, this is a close-knit group. They've played a tremendous amount of hockey games, and really just a team effort. While Chornak's got the MVP, it was a strong team effort, and really they had pressure on McCullion all night long, even more so in the third, but basically a strong team effort.
To recap the scoring for you in this one, Mike Chornak opened things up at the 1:56 mark. An unassisted goal as Meadville led 1-0. Michael Farrell tied things up at 5:14 of the first period from Casey Schaefer and Pat McDonald to make it a 1-1 game at the end of one. In the second period, LaSalle took a 2-1 lead on Brian Kersey's goal. 53 seconds in, Tyler Kalarick and Greg Bilecki the assist. It was 2-1. The Explorers until the 5:10 mark of period number 2, when Paul Ruzilko would tie things up. Ron Puz, the lone assist on the goal by Ruzilko. It was 2-2 at the end of 2. The only goal scored in the third period. Mike Chornak is second of the game. That proves to be the game winner, as it came with just 2 minutes and 25 seconds remaining in regulation. And the Meadville Bulldogs, by virtue of the 3-2 win over LaSalle, have claimed their 5th straight state title game. Final shots on goal. The third period totals 15 for Meadville, 1 for LaSalle, and the game total 49-8 in favor of the Meadville Bulldogs. The final power play tallies here this afternoon. Meadville goes 0 for 3 on the man advantage, while LaSalle scoreless on the one chance that they have. The runner-up trophies being presented to the LaSalle Explorers, and even though it is a bit demoralizing, Art, still a sense of accomplishment for this LaSalle Explorers team. They finished the campaign at 35-10-2, making it to the state finals, 1 goal short against the Meadville Bulldogs. And even though they're feeling the sting of it right now, this is probably a memory that they will have with them the rest of their lives.
No, and I'm impressed with the coaching staff. Pete Nolan brought his kids in after the game, circled them up, and I'm sure he had some positive remarks for them and reinforced that, hey, there's a lot of other hockey teams that would love to trade places with them at that point. And Meadville, 5 straight championships, they're a tough opponent, so I think they'll be back. I expect to see LaSalle back and having a strong program for years to come, because they've started to build a tradition of their own.
Well, they certainly have, and very impressive effort in their first ever state title game appearance here this afternoon, but they come up short against the Meadville Bulldogs, and we will have the presentation of all the second place trophies before we get to the championship presentation to the Meadville Bulldogs, and listen to the applause once we get there. This ice surface will have to be cleared and resurfaced before we can bring you the AA game, which will be upcoming next. Greensburg Central Catholic against Upper Darby. The first of 3 games complete on the afternoon. And Art, it seems kind of ironic that you and I are going to be here the whole afternoon, and we'll have to share the emotions of all teams participating today, all 6 who will take part in the championships here today, the winners and the losers alike. And you being the head coach at Westmont Hilltop, certainly there's some emotion in this for you as well, particularly when we get to the single A game and the class in which your team competes. But as you mentioned, a nice gesture on behalf of LaSalle to be respectful of the fact that they did come in second place. Your club has just been dying for that chance. Unfortunately, you haven't been able to get to the point to play for a state title game, largely because you have to go up against Bishop McCord. What's it like for a team in your position then, Art, to come so close and know that you have a better team than probably some of the teams that are playing for state title games and have to sit in and watch everything develop?
Well, we go into the season. We don't judge the success or failure of our season on whether or not we make it to a state title game. We look at it, if we're having a positive experience for a lot of student athletes and everyone's having a good quality hockey experience, that's the way we look at it. We take a lot of pride in our program. We're the only school in Western Pennsylvania that scheduled Meadville, scheduled Greensburg Central Catholic, and scheduled McCourton. And sooner or later our day will come. But we give McCourt a lot of credit. I think if you ask the McCourt people who their toughest opponent is this year, they would say to a man it's from Westmont. And we respect the rivalry. We respect them. It is a little tough to sit on the sidelines today, but by the same token, we're pleased with our program and the direction we're headed in.
Certainly to have the high school championships held here in the city of Johnstown, it's a big benefit for the city itself and also for the Cambria County War Memorial, a facility that's been here since 1950, home of professional hockey to the Johnstown Chiefs of the East Coast Hockey League, and numerous games that are played throughout the winter and the fall months here at the Cambria County War Memorial. To culminate it here today with a state championship game, this is truly an honor for the city of Johnstown itself.
Well, in talking with the people that are here coming in from all over the state of Pennsylvania, they have had nothing but praise for the tournament committee, Bob Newton, Tom Strittmatter, Dave Crichton, Haas's Steakhouse, the Cambria County War Memorial staff. A lot of people have put in a lot of hours to make this endeavor possible, and I wouldn't be surprised to see, as you know, they rotate the state finals between Pittsburgh and Philadelphia, the Western and the Eastern half of the state, and I wouldn't be surprised to see the state finals return to Johnstown in the near future because they've really put on a quality production here, and I think everybody is appreciative of that and realizes the work and the effort that went into and basically culminates in what we see here today.
Well, certainly a lot of hard work went behind it, and we're only a third of the way through it. The AAA game has been decided, and it is the Meadville Bulldogs under head coach Jamie Plunkett taking their 5th consecutive state title at the Class AAA level. Next up is the AA game, and this should be another closely contested matchup. Art, you've had a chance to see Greensburg Central Catholic last week in the Penguin Cup Finals against a very good Indiana team. What do you expect to see in the AA game that will have moments from now?
I think we're going to see a real close hockey game. I expect it to be decided by 1 or 2 goals. I think Greensburg Central Catholic has some quality people up front. Phil Rocks had an excellent season. Todd Wise has really done a super job on the blue line for Greensburg Central Catholic, and Vesley in goal has been unbelievable as well. Watched Upper Darby practice yesterday afternoon. A little bit smaller. They may give away a little bit of size to Greensburg Central Catholic, but they're a good skating team. They've had a successful season, and they're not going to back off 1 inch. So that should be an interesting matchup.
Sure should, as the Meadville Bulldogs now accepting the championship trophy, and very emblematic of what happens in the National Hockey League with the Stanley Cup being passed man to man as they skate around the ice surface. The championship trophy for the AAA level being skated around the ice surface now by the Meadville Bulldogs. And congratulations to Head coach Jamie Plunkett, in his 10th season with the Meadville Bulldogs, they have now claimed 7 state titles. Certainly a dynasty has been built in Crawford County, and the Meadville Bulldogs living up to their legacy that has been built over the years here this afternoon as they skate away with the championship game 3-2 over the LaSalle Explorers. We've got a lot more coming up on the afternoon, though, as the AA game will be next. Greensburg Central Catholic against Upper Darby. We'll step aside and bring you more here on WJC Radio. The Cambria County War Memorial in downtown Johnstown, Pennsylvania. The first game is complete, and the Meadville Bulldogs have defeated the LaSalle Explorers by the score of 3-2. Next up will be the AA game featuring the Greensburg Central Catholic Centurions against Upper Darby. Breaking it along with Art McQuillan, and Art, while the post-game celebration continues, obviously there are going to be a lot of emotions on the ice surface for this Meadville Bulldogs team. A good friend of yours right now, and head coach Jamie Plunkett, being interviewed by a slew of TV cameras as he is suddenly the star man on the ice surface, his team winning the championship.
He's done a super job there. Former player at Cornell, and in fact, Meadville, with the tradition they've built, they've had the first kid to come out of Western Pennsylvania, Ryan Smith, that can go directly from Western Pennsylvania high school to a Division I program. In fact, he was drafted in the 5th round by the New Jersey Devils. And Meadville, just a super tradition, and you have to have respect for that type of program. And we at Westmont, we had the chance to compete against them, and I think they're the benchmark that you gauge the success of your high school program by. They're the one that everybody's shooting for.
Now the traditional post-game celebration goes on for the Meadville Bulldogs. One game complete. Next up is the AA game. Greensburg Central Catholic against Upper Darby. Right now we're going to step aside to bring you news and features, and then we will be back with Game 2 of our high school hockey triple header here at the Cambria County War Memorial. Meadville 3, LaSalle 2.